Good afternoon, YouTube. Today I'm bringing you a battle against Smun Wi-Fi user TygerKing. And basically, the first thing I notice when I look at his team is that he's using a defensive Sandstorm team. I'm using an offensive Sandstorm team. So I'm not really too worried about his team. The only Pokemon that I'm worried about are Scizor, Metagross, and Tyranitar because they can pack the superpower in Earthquake. So I'm basically thinking that this Heatran is going to be a air balloon version, and so I really don't think that he would run a specially defensive Heatran when he already has plenty of walls to begin with. He's going to need some kind of special attacker. I'm thinking that his Ferrothorn's the special wall. Probably has, Spikes, Leech Seed, while maybe Metagross or Hippowdon has Stealth Rock. But then Hippowdon could most likely be the Sand Force version, which works really well with other walls to support it. So either way it goes, I really don't feel threatened by the majority of his team. I have plenty of things that can take out Scizor, Metagross, and Tyranitar. Now I'm pretty sure that he's thinking that I'm going to start off with Tyranitar or Hippowdon, but I really can start off with Hippowdon since he mainly has physical attacking Pokemon. Now, his Tyranitar most likely is a mixed attacker, because if not, then that just means that, this team will get destroyed by a physical wall. So, I'm going to go ahead and start off with Hippowdon, predicting him to begin with Scizor. So, battle begins. I do start off with Hippowdon. He does start off with Scizor, so I'm like, okay, great. He goes for the U-turn. The only reason I go for the Earthquake here is because I wanted to make sure he didn't have Swords Dance, but telling about the damage he did, he's Choice Band, so Ferrothorn's easily able to take that Earthquake, which is fine. I know he's going to probably switch out, thinking Magnezone comes in, so I'm going to go for Stealth Rock. Now here he makes the obvious move, goes for the U-turn again, so I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Slack Off. I kind of just want to scout, see what he sends in, see if I need to switch out. He sends in Tyranitar, so I'm pretty sure he has Ice Beam. I'm like, why would he send Tyranitar, and knowing I can 2-hit him with Earthquake? And yes, he does go for the Ice Beam. So here I'm like, well, I can survive it, but I end up getting the Freeze hack. So that's pretty unfortunate, because now I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to sacrifice due to Freeze hacks, but it's okay because I thaw in one turn. So Tyranitar is going to eat an Earthquake. That does about 65% of its health, so I'm satisfied with that. Now I'm thinking that he was going to go for the Ice Beam again, but for some reason he goes for Superpower. Some strange reason, so I'm allowed to Earthquake and finish him off. I guess it doesn't really matter too much, even though I think he should have just went for the Ice Beam to keep T-Tar alive. But he sends in Scizor, who can easily just go for the U-turn and finish me off. So I guess it really wasn't that bad after all. But now I get to counter whatever he sends in. So he sends in Hippowdon. Here I'm thinking he's going to go for the Stealth Rock, so I set up a substitute. But he actually switches, which is fine by me. It gives me an ability to scout. Now I'm just going to go straight for the close combat. He was expecting the Focus Blast, so that's why he stays in and bullet punches. He wouldn't have stayed in if he knew that I had close combat. Close combat's going to easily do about 55% health. I don't want to stay in because I need Virizion, because half of his team is weak versus fighting as to mine, so I'm going to send in Magnezone just in case he tries to stay in, but he predicts that and he sends in Metagross, which causes me to have to switch right back out because I don't want to get hit with an Earthquake or a possible Hammer Arm. So to block both of them, I switch in Latias, but he goes for the Stealth Rock, so it's cool. I'm going to go for the Surf here, expecting Heatran to come in, but he ends up sending in Ferrothorn, so that's fine. Now I over-predict, thinking that he's going to send Heatran in this time, fearing the HP Fire, but he goes ahead and stays in, predicting me to predict that he would switch, and now he just pretty much cripples Latias, so Latias is technically done. I try and go for the Surf here, taking out Heatran or Scizor, but the Parahax kicks in. So here you see that I switch and he goes for the Pursuit, which I knew that he would do, but just in case he didn't, Magnezone could trap him because I'm running Substitute. So I'm actually not complaining because Pursuit will definitely not be able to break my sub. Now I'm just going to go for the Hidden Power Fire, just to go ahead and finish him off right now. So one of the major threats, the second major threat for my team is actually out of the picture. Now I just need to get rid of Metagross, and I can pretty much finish off his team with Virizion. But for some reason he sends in Metagross at this part. I wasn't really sure why. I was thinking maybe he was going to try and get up an agility or something. Maybe he was scarfed. I don't really know, but I just went for the Thunder Wave. I thought he should have sent in Hippowdon, but since he didn't, I'm pretty sure he has Alka Berry. I'm like, why would he send in a Metagross against an HP Fire that can easily 2-hit KO it? So this is fine. Right now I'm somewhat relying on the Parahacks, not going to lie. And I do get the Parahacks this turn, so now I can go ahead and HP Fire him safely to get some massive damage off. But he has the Alka Berry, so that only does about 25% damage. But he gets the Parahacks, so I'm really not worried, because now I can full throttle him with the Hidden Power Fire, which I knew would not faint him anyway, which was kind of unfortunate for me. But the unfortunate for him is that he misses the Hammer Arm, so Hacks pretty much messed him up there for those past 3 turns. He goes for a pointless Bullet Punch, maybe hoping for a crit. I'm just going to finish him off with the Hidden Power Fire. So now he decides to send in Hippowdon, which I figured he should have done in the first place, but maybe he thought I had Flash Cannon and he didn't want to get 2-hit KO'd, so I guess that's always, possible. My goal here is to try and HP Fire him to get his health down as much as possible, since I see that he is the Sand Force Life Orb tank version. Even though I know he has Slack Off, I'm basically just trying to get his health down to about maybe 25% to where Virizion can come in and just sweep everything with close combat. Since if not, then he can easily just slack off, which he does now, which I guess isn't too much of a problem, due to the fact that, for one, I'm still behind the sub, and 2, HP Fire is doing about 20% of its health, plus it has to attack with Life Orb, so it's losing about 30% health each turn. Here, I'm thinking I might as well just go for one more sub, because either way it goes, Magnezone is going to be finished off. But he just goes for the Earthquake, so I was like, well, at least it's 10% more damage on him. And here he's going to make a pretty good play, and he's just going to go for the Slack Off at this point, which in my opinion actually was, it was pretty wise. It was pretty wise because it allows him, I guess, to have as much health as possible. Here I'm thinking that he's going to go for Slack Off again, but I suppose he just wanted to get rid of Magnezone. Maybe he was getting annoyed by it or whatever. But now this means that I can send in June Kazama and just finish his team off, because he really has nothing that can stop her. I'm going to go ahead and close combat just in case he tried to send in Ferrothorn to get off, some Iron Barbs and possibly Rocky Helmet damage, which might have made a difference, not really sure. I just wanted to be on the safe side. Now he's going to send in that Ferrothorn. Close combat will easily take it out. And I actually think that the Iron Barb plus Rocky Helmet damage that I do see might have made somewhat of a difference. Not too much, but all he has left is Heatran now, who will actually survive a close combat, so maybe he was running some defense and like max HP. But it doesn't even really matter, because Heatran can't do anything for when I send in Stoutland with Choice Band Superpower. So I hope that you all enjoyed this game. I think it was pretty good. Yeah, hacks got in the way a little bit, but that's why I used Thunder Wave for that possible hacks and that reduction in speed. So he's just going to protect 2 more times, I guess, to try and prolong the battle. Maybe hoping that I get frustrated and hit the power button. Yeah, right. But please comment, rate, subscribe. I really appreciate it. I'd also like you to tell me how you think I did with my first commentary. I think it was pretty good, but some of you may beg to differ. So this is Unhappy Carousel. Please have a nice day.